right. My main man, Brandon Marshall's on the phone. Brandon, it's me and Governor Christie sitting in for Boomer today. How you been, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
I understand that you're riding your Segway all over Brooklyn and a guy almost hit you.
I was riding my Segway around Brooklyn. I had to get some eggs. My wife sent me on a grocery trip.
So you took the Segway to get eggs?
Oh, that's how I get around. I've been getting around on the Segway in the city the last couple of years. So my wife got me it for birthday or Christmas present a couple of years ago.
You a little nervous on the Segway, Brandon?
Never. And that guy, I see why you guys are the number one morning show. Got some loyal fans, man.
Yeah, guy called in. He goes, "I almost killed Brandon Marshall this morning." I go, "What'd you do?"
Right.
He goes, "He's on his Segway." He goes, "I almost hit him."
Yeah, right. No, he did not. He saw me on the Segway, but he didn't almost hit me.
So he just saw you. Well, it's like you called attention to yourself being Brandon Marshall driving a Segway all over Brooklyn. No one notices that.
No.
I had a hoodie on. I had two hoodies on, actually. I had a little hoodie, and then I had a jacket with a hoodie on, so I don't know how he noticed me.
You went double hoodie. See? That's very bougie for a guy like you.
Brandon, how great is it that you don't have to talk to Boomer this morning? Haven't you had enough of him?
Awesome.
That's awesome. I'm glad. I was like, oh, man. Boomer again. I was just with him yesterday on the show.
I know. I mean, he's got to have enough.
He's a real pain in the ass, Boomer, to be honest with you. And I got to deal with him 5 days a week. You only get him for an hour once a week. You get it easy.
Man. He loves himself, doesn't he?
No, 100%. His hair's always coiffed. Nails are done. He always looks right.
Oh,
yeah, he's in love with himself. Meanwhile, since you're on the phone, I got to ask you a couple questions. I love.
Here we go, Brandon.
Here's what I love.
Brandon, get your lawyer.
No. Here's Brandon and I are buddies.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, right. I'm your buddy too. You still screw me all the time.
Well, listen,
it's nice. Be careful, Brandon.
I can only do what I do.
Yeah, right.
Here's what I love about you. Your bills are all paid. You'll play for free. I suggested to Mike McCagnon, offer him the veteran minimum since his bills are paid, and we want him back, but at a better number for the team to sign other players. So if they offer you that, are you a New York Jet next year?
Oh, come on.
No.
No. I mean, come on.
No,
just because the bills are paid.
What I said was, to clarify my statement,
yes.
I said that I love the game so much that if my bills were paid, which they are, I'd pay for free. But, teams also know my value.
Yes.
So
now they just resuscitated Brandon's agent.
Yes, it's not about the money though. With that being said, it's not about the money. I've been blessed to play this game for a long time, and we have some a good savings and a good financial plan in place, so we're okay there. Now, the last 5 or 6 years I got left, I plan on
trying to
having
win
a lot of team success. That's what I want.
Well, I would say this,
and they should pay you what you're worth.
Well, but the Jets are.
I'm under. Well, if that's if that's the case, I've probably been underpaid for the past 6 years. If we're really talking about production, comparing production to receivers across the league.
Damn right.
And what I've been doing and what I'm getting paid, there's a case that I was underpaid. But now, when you only catch 50-something balls and 700 yards, that's when, in your 30-something years, that's when teams come and you're like,
that's right.
We don't think you're good anymore, so they use that as leverage. But,
that's when CBS calls you. That's when the NFL Today calls you and says, well, since your career's over, do you want to work in TV? That's when that happens. Now,
yeah, right. Exactly.
Here's my thing. Why don't you buy your wife a Segway so you guys can Segway together as a couple, like when the babysitter's over if the kids are sleeping, and you guys can be that Segwaying couple as opposed to only having one Segway?
She wouldn't get on.
She would not ride it.
She wouldn't ride it. She's never ridden it.
For real?
Never, ever.
Huh.
I would love for her to get one.
Yeah, I think you got to get her one.
Now we got twins, so I'm pushing strollers and.
Yeah.
Actually, I put them on a Segway and I ride them up and down the halls in our apartment
building. That's what you should do. You get like a baby attachment for the Segway. Oh, there's the Marshall family going down the highway again.
No, we don't want to do that with the twins. Are little, Craig.
Let me ask you this, and I'm going to be very honest with you.
Oh, boy.
I want you back as a Jet fan because if Decker's healthy and you're healthy again, you come back. You had record-setting year a year ago. But I think here's your reality. You're moving again. Because if at this stage of your career, the goal is put me on a team that's got a legitimate shot to win, the Jets probably don't want to pay you $7 million bucks, so you're going to have an opportunity to go somewhere else. I would advise you got to go to the best team that's out there because you're right, at this stage of your career, let's be honest, the Jets are not the best team with the best chance to win. You're not going to be a Jet next year.
No, come on now.
It's true. I say that just being real. You're not going to be a Jet next year.
I will say this. I'm not going to take up for myself. But,
no, don't do that.
Yeah, you never win there. But people need to get away from. I'm due 7.5. Get away from my salary. That's underpaid. They should be happy to. Any team should be happy to have me for $7.5 million. But that's again, it's not about the money. Forget about the money. I'm tired of hearing people talk about the money.
Right.
It's about winning. That's all it is. And I love my team and I love the guys. I'm glad that they gave me an opportunity to come here, and I truly believe in the vision. So. Last year was just a bad year, and that's what happens. When you have a bad year, there's a lot of speculation. It's toxic. There's a lot of hoopla, and you just have to be a man and deal with it. Last year when we won 10 ball games with people who projected us to win 6 with a new regime and new players, and everybody was balling. I had 14 touchdowns, 1,500 yards. Everyone's talking about me being a Hall of Famer. It was great, and that's the issue with some of our guys and even coaches. Is they don't know how to deal with the ebbs and flows of the league. Every week is going to be different. Every year is going to be different, especially in New York. It's amazing. I remember last year, teams talking about how bad we were and calling out individual players and coaches. Then we went on a winning streak, and then everybody was great. Everyone needed raises. Everyone needed be voted into the Hall of Fame, and so it just comes with it. It just comes with just like driving your Segway in New York, and then they call into the radio show.
That's true.
And they almost hit you. So
no privacy here.
I would think that you have to be somewhat frustrated the way it's been characterized. There's rats in the locker room. There's people leaking this and that. I think at some level that's got to bother you that there's people talking behind your back saying you did this or you did that or this guy's this way, this guy's that way. I would think that if anything, that's got to bother you the most.
Well, I mean, I think that's just the business. It took me a while to understand that, but that's in every city, every organization. I mean, some teams minimize it, but things get out. Unfortunately, people want access to us, and people are willing to pry and poke anywhere they can to get anything. You just have to be able to deal with it.
Well, listen. You keep riding the Segway on the street, someone's going to hit you at some point.
You become a New Yorker, Brandon. You become a New Yorker, Brandon.
By the way, it might be me.
I say that again?
I said it might be me, the guy that accidentally hit you on the Segway. I'll be, hey, kids, it's Brandon. Let's go say hi to Brandon. Well, listen,
awesome.
I appreciate you coming on. I'm glad the guy didn't hit you and you're still alive. There's a million things we could talk to you about. Appreciated you as a Jet. Wherever you wind up next year, we'll be watching you. And best to your family. Thanks for coming on.
We love you, Brandon.
No problem. All right, back to MO for me.
That's it. Bye-bye. There you go.